Justin Thompson. Justin Thompson, The Recipe. The Recipe, Justin Thompson.
The teacher had just left the classroom when suddenly a pen hits me in the back of the head. It was Bobby, the classroom bully. He was big, he was bad, and he yells out, "You don't fit in here, Justin!" I shrieked down into my desk. Right there. I knew I was different. I didn't fit in. I was a nerd. Contest chair, Toastmasters guests, and fellow nerds. I was sick of being picked on. I was tired of being a nobody. And I was fed up with being a nerd. I needed to fit in. I was 14 years old, and puberty had been avoiding me because all my friends were head and shoulders above me, and bigger, much bigger. On a good day, I could control my voice, but on a bad day, I couldn't. Like most of my fellow nerds, I was allergic to the sun, and fresh air would make me break out. So I watched a lot of movies. And I came across this movie called Conan the Barbarian. I was in awe of how much muscle someone could have. I'll give you a clue. I'll be back. The Arnold Schwarzenegger. This was the day I discovered the recipe, and it changed my life forever. If I could look like Arnold, I would never get bullied ever again. I started out using my uncle's home gym, and I remember my first session like it was yesterday. My uncle said, "You better read the instructions first." Me read instructions? I just started to train. I trained, and 4 hours later, I could barely move a muscle. They didn't look any bigger, but now I knew where each one was. There were lots of them. I decided I had better follow a plan. Read the instructions. Part of the recipe. Follow a plan. 7 months later, I entered my first bodybuilding contest. The teenage Mr. Auckland. But they wouldn't let me on the stage. Guess I didn't read the instructions again. They said, competitors must be hairless, tan, and body fat levels lower than 10%. I was hairy, white, and best friends with the king, Burger King. I needed help. I needed to find my own version of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Look, to be honest, I couldn't even spell the guy's name. But I wanted to look like him. So I dyed my hair, got contact lenses. I even started to sound like him. "Hi, how are you? First, I'd like to get to know you." Funny where a plan takes you. I joined Gold's Gym, and the first person I met was huge, massive. And she was just a receptionist. I found Frank. He looked like the Incredible Hulk. I tapped him on the shoulder. It felt like granite. He spun around. He looked me up and down. And then he said, "What's your name, kid?" He didn't call me a nerd. I had found my Arnold. He took me under his wing, and we trained for several years. And he taught me the secret behind bodybuilding. how to train, how not to train, what to eat. No more Burger King. It was tough, it was hard. And many times I tried to quit. But Frank wouldn't let me. Frank said, you have to commit. You have to follow through, like night follows day. It works. And it did. The recipe worked. 2004, I'm standing on stage at the Mr. New Zealand contest. I've made it to the national final. I'm covered in 8 coats of fake tan. There is not a single hair on my entire body, and I haven't smelt a carb in 6 months. I placed 3rd, and I can see Frank. He's in the audience. He's pumping the air. That was my last contest, but it gave me an experience that will remain with me forever, and it taught me about the recipe of success. The ingredients are simple. Start with a goal. Pour in a well-executed plan. And stir in the most powerful ingredient of all, action. Whether it be for financial success, or turning that dream into a reality, or that's something you've been destined to do. Follow the recipe and see yourself rise. In an odd way, being bullied actually helped me. And that by being different, by being a nerd, forced me to change. Dr. Seuss, the famous children's author, says it best. Why fit in when you were born to stand out?